I'm not saying that a K-pop album shelf shouldn't have any of these things, but what the heck is a random highlighter doing on a shelf of K-pop albums? And what the heck is this band doing here? Also, hi Psyduck. Hi loves, welcome back. And welcome back to another episode of Monthly Album Phase! Yay! So this recording is a re-recording of the last one because when I look back at the recording, there was this like constant fan noise in the background and I didn't realize it until I listened back at it, but it was so annoying and I'm pretty sure it might be annoying for all of you as well. Because the fan next to my desk was like blowing when I was recording this video and I didn't realize that it actually made a noise and it actually will disturb the entire recording, so I'm re-recording it again. Yes, so Monthly Album Faves, welcome back to Monthly Album Faves. Good to see you all again. And yeah, February was, I want to say it's not a good month, but then again it's good at the same time. It's not a good month in the sense that there's not a lot much going on in February because the Winter Olympics, and also everybody in K-pop just seems to have caught the Miss Rona, which I hope everybody gets well soon. Even though that there's not much going on in February, which I do admit I'm a bit pessimistic about that. Whatever that they did deliver in February was full of quality. Actually, I actually liked more albums in February than I did in January, which says volumes about the quality of albums that came out in the last month, and I'm really just happy for that in that regard. So I'm really ready to talk about more albums this month, and a lot of the albums that I have liked this month are in the genres that I personally like. So yeah, let's get right into it. Here are my favorite albums of February 2022. Let's get it. So the first album I'm going to talk about is Hardboiled Cafe by P-Type. So P-Type is a name that I have heard a long time ago from Show Me the Money. He was a first gen rapper, so I kind of see his name around. He's been on the block for a long time, so I know him a bit, and I never really got to listen to his material that much until now. I didn't really get into his stuff, but then now he released this big behemoth of an album, which is Hardboiled Cafe. I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. I don't know how I sat through this either. It's a 20-track album, but once I sat through this, I was like, oh, it's fine. It's a really fine boom bap album. I do like the fact that it actually has the ambiance of like an underground bar or like a secret cafe that only you and a few other people know about, where you just go there and just hang out with the people, a little bit of people there with like a little band just hanging out in the corner, playing jazz music, and then like listening to some slam poetry. Very nice. I really like the vibes of it. It's like very like dimly lit, it's slightly warm, dimly lit with a little bit of a jazz and a little bit of boom bap feeling to it. I really like that feeling a lot. I like the blend of jazz and boom bap at the same time. It really gives it a very mysterious and almost like a cozy kind of feel. Mystery and cozy. I'm not so sure if you can put these two words together, but yeah, I like a lot of the songs on this album. But some of my highlight favorites are Writer's Profile, which is just a nice way to open the album, and then also a clean, well-lighted place and a simple art of rhyme. It's very just displays P-Type's lyricism very well. I really like how he writes these songs. I think that they display some really interesting lyricism that you don't get a lot from a lot of rappers these days. And then also some of my favorite songs basically are Mike the Hammer, which is definitely the biggest highlight of this album thus far. And then we also have Moonlighting, Double Negative is Affirmative. Those two songs are also really nice. I like the boom bap nature of it. Of course, you guys know I love my boom bap album. So yeah, I do think that this big behemoth of an album is not something that I would go back to just because of its track listing size, honestly. But for the one time that I did listen to it, I had pleasant vibes, and I do think that you all should give this a fair shake, even if you're not intending on listening to it like more than once. Just listen to it once and just imagine yourself in a nice cafe with a nice cup of coffee, and I think you'll pretty much enjoy this.
My baby don't got your cheese in a trap. Fell in love with a cheese in a trap.
So next album is American Gothic by Davida. So Davida is one of my favorite new names of 2020. She's so good. I loved Evita when it came out. So different. I love it so much, and I'm so happy she released another album. And I think I like this more than her debut album, to be honest. I liked how cinematic it is. It's like a movie or romance movie type soundtrack feel. I do also think that it has like a set to a backdrop of a story of like forbidden lovers or something like that, or at least like lovers that are like rebellious in some way. Eat Your Heart Out Buddy Came really has that sort of like romantic feeling. I really like the intro a lot, and of course the intro has the kind of like romantic black and white movie feel that it continues on to the next song, which is Bonnie and Clyde, a very like slow jazzy song. Also has like some kind of romance to it. I just love romantic songs so much. They just make me so happy, and I also like the lyrics of Bonnie and Clyde. They're just so, it just perfectly displays a love story that is inspired by the forbidden lovers of Bonnie and Clyde, who are like two partners in crime, I think. Yeah. And then of course Cheese in the Trap and Let You In are some of my favorite songs, very just R&B and chill and vibey and all that. I like how this entire album just kind of plays into the whole like black and white movie aesthetic that the theme of this album is going for, and it also makes you feel like you're listening to a soundtrack of a movie. So I do recommend this album if you like movie soundtracks, or you just want to live a romantic fantasy of two forbidden lovers, I think. But yeah, I do like this album quite a bit. It is nice. I like it. So next we have Jewelry Case by Obje. I think I said that right, Obje. But yeah, Obje is really cute. I love cute albums like this. Cute acoustic albums are my cup of tea, or at least like just cute albums in particular. And this album really delivered on the cuteness aspect of it. I really like songs like Me and Me, Cheese and Wine. Those are really good as well. I think they just really just make me so soft and fuzzy and happy. It just makes me so, oh, it's so cute. I just want to hug it so tightly. I also like the fact that she remastered a lot of her older stuff to put in this album. Very nice. I think it exposes me to some of her music because this is my first time listening to her, so I do think that this is a good way to be exposed to some of the music that she has released prior to this, which is nice. And then of course the final act of this album, which has like slower songs, balladier songs, very nice way to cap off the album. Really just brings things down to ground level. And yeah, this is just cute acoustic album. I love it so much. It's honestly though, I have soft spots for music everywhere, and even if this album isn't like the most spectacularly made album ever, it's an acoustic cute album. How can you not? So next we have Lavender by Han Seung-yoon. So Han Seung-yoon was a member of Lunafly. Now, when I was younger, when Lunafly was active, I didn't really care much of them, because I don't really like their music. No, not to say that. I'm not really a big fan of their music a lot, so I don't really just care for the band, So when I saw a member of Lunafly releasing a solo album, I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot, I guess. I'll give it a try. So Lavender is quite solid as an album, I actually quite like it a lot. It's very all over the place in terms of genre, but I do say that the genres kind of tie in together in a way, that they don't feel like jarringly out of place within the grand scheme of the theming of the album. I do like the cover art is very just flowery and really spring ready. Lavender is great. I like the rock ballad nature of it, and of course Seung-yoon's voice really sells the entire ballad, But the two highlights of this album are Moondriver and Problem. Those two songs are really, really good. They're just full of retro, funky pop energy and just chef's kiss. I love it. It's just so good. I just want to return to it every single time. Like they're just the reasons why I kind of bump this album a little bit higher, because it's just so funky and pop oriented. It's so good. I love these kinds of like well-made retro pop oriented songs. Very nice. And then of course How Nice Would It Be, which is the last song on the album. Someone in the comments please let me know if that's a past Lunafly song, because it hits better now, I guess. I didn't really feel it back then, but now in my mid-20s or early 20s, however you want to classify my age now, It's nice. It hits differently this time around. I don't know. Maybe I should give Luna Fly's songs another chance, I guess. But yeah, the last song is nice. I really like how acoustic it is. Of course, you guys know I love my acoustic stuff. So yeah, this album is a nice listen. I really do enjoy it. And yeah, hopefully it'll inspire me to listen to more of Lunafly stuff, and of course, hopefully he expands on his worldview and music in the future, his discography. I'm looking forward to seeing more Seungyoon. I think he's great with the genre of music that he does in this album, if he can continue to do what he does well and then just continue to polish his albums, I think he'll have a fantastic discography.
우리가 있는 곳까지 굳은
So next we have Panorama by Jiyoon. So first and foremost, sorry if I butcher the translations of this song titles, because there's no English titles for any of the tracks of this album except Panorama. So I just direct translate them. Hopefully I'm correct about them. If they're not the English titles, my apologies. But yeah, I like Panorama, it's a very different kind of album. On first glance, I thought it would be like some kind of like chill hop or like acoustic or like some kind of like folk album of some sort, but upon further listen, it is very more nuanced than your typical folk album, and it's much more nuanced than anything that I've ever heard in this kind of genre, because there's a lot of different elements and aspects added into this album that really just makes it so different. For example, the inclusion of like really interesting genres like big band styles, jazz, glitch pop even. Like, how do you mash glitch pop and jazz together? That's just mind-blowing to me. And of course you have your ballads, you also have your R&B, your folk, which really just, it makes me so happy, but the thing that makes this album stand out are like the choice of genres that they just sprinkle in there for good measure, and then the amount of nuances that they add to this album really sells it harder than a lot of the folk albums I listened to before. It's very different, I'll give it that, and it's very unique. And I like her voice. Yoon's voice is very nice, and the featurings in there, I have never heard any of the featurings before. I really should give them a chance as well. But yeah, this is a very good first impression of an album from a person that I've never listened to before. That is quite the first impression, and it's a good one to say the least, very unique. Round of applause to Ziyoon. I think she did a fantastic job. So next we have Moon by Single and WR, if that's how you say their name right. So this is a chill hop album. I'm just gonna have to say it firsthand. This is a chill hop album, and I love my chill hop albums. So of course I'm gonna eat this up. So yeah, I love this album a lot. It's not just a chill hop album, but I also really like the R&B elements in that, It really just makes me so happy, I don't know. I like minor key, dark toned chill hop songs like this, chill hop R&B stuff like this, and these two really deliver on that front. It's just so vibey, it's just so dark and gloomy and in all the right places. It's like a tint of blue with like dark in the edges, Chef's Kiss, I really like it a lot. And also I like the featuring, especially Ripley. Not so sure about who that person is, but I really like their voice on the song. Guess and Try. Guess and Try is quite a good song, I really like it a lot. But yeah, I am looking forward to listening to this again. I had a really good time with this album. It makes me so happy when I listened to it the first time, and I'm looking forward to going back to it again. Finally, there's a chill hop album this year that I actually like. Yay! I thought so far we haven't been getting a lot of chill hop stuff this year, but like February has been really delivering on the chill hop aspect, I feel like my monthly February faves, I think I added like way too many chill hop songs, and at one point in the video it just sounds like 5 of the same songs in a row, but I swear I have a type of music that I just love every single time. But yeah, chill hop is just everything. I just love it so much. You guys know it by now already, right? So next we have Grand Line 2 by Sky Min-hyuk. So Sky Min-hyuk is a person that I have heard before in Show Me the Money, but I never really get his appeal because I just don't really vibe with him for some reason, I guess. So I'm not looking forward to going to this album in the first place, but once I did get into it, I was pleasantly surprised, like really surprised by this entire vibe of this album. It's very decent, like decently good. it's a boom bap album. I love my boom bap album, so of course I would like this album. But the boom bap album is quite different from the ones that I've listened to in the past because it kind of feels like a personal deep dive into his life, you know. I'm not so sure about the lyrics, you know, because I didn't really read them in detail yet, but from what I have understood from this album, it kind of sounds like it's like his own personal diary entries, you know. Like at some point in this album he's just like screaming in agonized pain and like just venting out like some pent-in frustration that he has inside him, you know. Like at one point in the album he's just saying fucking shit all over, you know. He's just like screaming that at the end of the song. I forgot which song it is, you know. I'll put it in the video right now.
Let me out! Let me out! This is not a dance! I'm begging for help! I'm screaming for help! Please come let me out!
But yeah, I was like, when I heard that, I was like, wow, does he have that much pent-up frustrations in him, you know? Honestly, let it all out. Let it all out, my dude. Let it all out. If you have pent-up frustration, don't keep it in. Just let it out. And I think music is a great way to, you know, express feelings, you know, whether it's happy feelings or sad feelings or frustrated feelings, you know. I think that it's a good medium for doing that, you know. And I like the featurings on this album. As soon as I saw Son Simba as a featuring on this album, I was like, I'm instantly sold. Anything with Son Simba on it is a 10 out of 10. So yeah, I also like the inclusion of Crucial Star. I really like Crucial Star a lot. His music is great. But yeah, I kind of like this album. It's decently good. Granted, I only listened to it like twice, you know, but in the 2 times that I did listen to it, you know, I had a pretty good time with this, surprisingly. Even though I don't vibe with Sky Min Hyuk a lot, you know, this album is really decently good. I do recommend this album a lot, you know.
Dying in a vat in the garage!
Oh, Cullinan, keep me on my knees, Cullinan.
So next we have Blue Forest by Kim Museum. So Kim Museum is a name that I heard of since last year. I really like Kim Museum's music from last year a lot, you know. It's really just vibey and just overall different from a lot of R&B I did listen to. So I was looking forward to Blue Forest when I saw it, you know, and honestly though, he delivered. Blue Forest is just awesome. I love it. It's a chill hop album. I love chill hop albums, so of course I like this. But it also has sprinkles of different elements of music as well. For example, R&B. There's also like really just well-made pop music, you know, especially on songs like Scope, Meso, and Round. Those are really good songs as well. Very nice. And then also Cullinan. I had an out-of-body experience when I listened to Cullinan for the first time. I was just blown away by how good it is, you know. It's just so good. I was just vibing with it throughout, you know. It's just dancing, you know, just chilling, relaxing, you know. It's just so well-made, like H&M pop music. It's just so good. And then, of course, we have like really great featurings on this album. Of course, we have Marani again from Moonbill's album. She has been everywhere. I really like it a lot. And then we have Luxury Villa, who has been on 2 songs, you know. Not so sure who that person is, but they added a great touch to the songs, you know. And yeah, I do like this album. It's a different kind of chill hop album, you know. One that has nuances to it, added to it to make it more stand out than other chill hop albums I listened to in the past. With like just enough like blend of genres to really just pull everything together and make this such a very enjoyable album to listen to. I enjoyed this album so much. I was just so happy listening to this. It just makes me so happy.
Let's do it all right now. Blue fire.
So next we have J-Trap by Jay Weaver. So Jay Weaver is probably one of the few boy groups that came back or debuted in the last month, which is kind of tragic because there's not a lot of boy group action going on in February, you know. But the boy group action that did get that month, you know, I think Jay Weaver is probably the standout one of that month, you know, simply because I like the choice of music that they did in this album is very, very good. Granted, it is generic boy group pop, you know, but they did it well, you know. Nothing about this album reinvents the wheel, but for the 4 tracks on this album, they did make it work. And I like the fact that they chose 4 tracks on this album, you know, because I felt like any more than that, like 5 or 6 songs, it would have thrown off the dynamic of this album, you know, if they want to just add it with filler, you know. I think 4 tracks is really good for the amount of songs that they could choose to display like their dynamic pop sides a lot more, you know, and then they can, from here they can just add or subtract whenever they feel like it, you know. When they add their skill sets more in the near future, I think they can just add or subtract in the track listing depending on how they want to portray the genre of music at the era, you know. And I do also really like the choice of songs in this album. It's very like dynamic, futuristic backdrop type music, you know. Very nice. I like futuristic backdrop pop music. Very nice. J-Trap took a while to grow on me, but once it did, it really just grew on me big time. I didn't really feel it at first, you know, even though I thought it was quite decent. I'm not really huge on it at first, you know, but after a while, it grew on me big time. I really like J-Trap a lot. It's really good. Very, very futuristic. Something I can hear Mireille or Ghostline doing. And then we have the B-sides. The B-sides are just so good, especially Blue Fire. Blue Fire is just so dynamic, like deep house. Chef's kiss, love it a lot. And then of course we have My Destiny. My Destiny is also really good, you guys. This album is quite decently good. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this debut, and I'm looking forward to see what Jay Weaver can offer in the future.
I did it my way, baby, you know that I tried. I made some mistakes, but I'm not afraid to die.
So next we have Epic High is Here Part 2 by Epic High. So Epic High is back again with another album. This is the part 2 of their Epic High is Here series. Really like it a lot. I actually do enjoy this a little bit more than the first album, you know, because I like the blend of genres in this album a lot more than the first album, you know. It fits together really nicely and seamlessly, and it doesn't feel like one or two songs are out of place in a way, even though there are some songs that just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb in a way. They don't feel too jarringly different from the rest of the album. Some of the tracks that I like personally are Grey So Grey featuring Yoonha. I love the boom bap chill hop aspect of this song. Very, again, it's dark and gloomy and I really like it a lot. Love the music video for it too. It's just my personal cup of tea. And then we have BRB, also another chill hop song, very nice. Rain song featuring Cold, another chill hop song. Man, this album was just delivered the chill hop songs. I just love it so much. Something about this album just gives me warm and fuzzy feelings inside. Just makes me, it's just chicken soup for the soul, you know. But then like the non-chill hop songs in this album, of course we have the Super Rare featuring Weinstein and PH1. Really bizarre, but it fits the album kinda. But Face ID is even more bizarre than Super Rare because what the heck even is that song? I liked it, but it caught me off guard the first time I listened to it because it's just so bizarre and the music video is even weirder, you know. But I really like it kinda. I like the choice of featuring in this album on this song, and I really like how the melody just kind of tailors the voices of each of the people rapping on this song, so it doesn't feel like a one-size-fits-all kind of song, but rather more of like a song that is tailor-made for all of the rappers on this track, which is really nice. That's why I like, this is the musical motif that I like about this song. And of course we have Prequel. I like the part towards the end where they just kind of name all of their albums towards the end. It's a nice touch and I really like it, you know. It's like from their debut album all the way to Epic High is Here in a very witty and smart way. It's just so nice. I really like the lyricism of the entirety of this album, you know. Epic High always delivers great lyricism every single time, and it really pairs well with their very chill and laid back image, you know. So overall, this is a very nice experience, you know. I do think that this is a magnificent comeback from Epic High once again, so I'm looking forward to spending more time with it, and yeah, go give this a listen if you want to, you know. I found Azuki. So next we have The Collective of an Unconscious, Chapter 1 by Billy. So Billy is back. And oh my goodness, I forgot to say this the first time round during my recording, you know, but like I love, when I hear the word Billy, it reminds me of this video by Jack's Films where Kermit the Frog was singing a bunch of, you know, songs to kids, and then...
Sorry everyone, I think I had a frog in my throat.
when he said a kid's name, which is Billy, you know, he just says it so funnily, you know, and it just... The Kermit voice just gets stuck in my head when I see the word Billy now. So now every time I say the word Billy in this review, I'm gonna replace it with the one Kermit saying it. So
yeah, I'm gonna call you Billy. What's wrong, Billy? Little too real for you, Billy?
I don't know why, it's just so funny to me. But yeah,
Billy
is back and weirder than ever, I would say. So I do have quite a lot to say about this album, but if I had to condense my thoughts, first and foremost, what the heck happened to the Village of Perception Chapter 1? Are they going to continue that, or are they just going to leave it at that and just continue on with this series, or are they going to like simultaneously cater to 2 series at once, you know, maybe like overlap them, you know, depending on what the storyline calls for, you know. Billy's storyline is really weird. I don't understand much of it until now, you know, so I might need to, you know, catch up on what the storyline and lore is about, you know. One thing I do know about the lore is the weird creatures inside, you know. Of course, we have the abominable snowman from Snowy Night, you know, but like this comeback has like the creepiest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's like a one-eyed rabbit, and it's so weird, it's so creepy. Oh my god. I literally, the first time I saw it, I was like, yikes, what the heck is that? Oh my god, it's just so weird, it's just so creepy. Oh my goodness, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? Yikes. But yeah, apart from that, really nice comeback from Billy actually. Granted, this album doesn't have the similar high points from the last album, you know, like the last album really has a lot of really big major standout moments, you know. This album is much more low-key in B-sides than the first album, you know, but Ginga Minga Yo as a title track is just so ridiculously catchy. It's just so bizarre and weird and quirky, and it's catchy as hell. It's really fun and colorful. I really like it a lot. Really like rubbery sense. I like the rubbery sense that they use. I also really like the vocal performances on that song, you know. It's very dynamic and loud and almost kind of screechy in a way, but it kind of fits the bizarre nature of the song. Really nice. I like the pre-chorus build up too as well. Very nice, especially when they overlap the 4, 3, 2, 1 in between syllables. It just gives a nice touch. I like it a lot. I like it when Zuki and Haruna does it, you know. They both sell the pre-chorus very nicely. But yeah, I think that's basically my thoughts on Ginga Minga Yo. It's just so catchy. The B-sides are also really just chill and romantic as well. I love how romantic the B-sides are. For example, A Sign, very R&B type, you know, something you can hear from like a Red Velvet album, almost kind of, you know, very nice. And then we have Moon Palace. I love Moon Palace. It's just so sparkly and glittery and beautiful and magnificent. It just looks like you're looking at a diamond castle or something like that. If glitter was a song, it would be Moon Palace. It's just so nice. I love how sparkly it is, you know. And then Overlap is also nice, you know, very nice like R&B pop as well, you know, just like A Sign. And then Believe at the end, I think that's a fan song. I forgot to mention that the first time round, but Believe is also very nice. It's a nice ballad to cap things off, you know. So yeah, while the other B-sides don't really seem to have like a similar high points as their first mini for me, you know, they definitely just seal the whole dreamy romantic aspect of this comeback really nicely, you know, which I really do like, you know. I love me romantic songs, you know, so I'm looking forward to spending more time with it in the near future, you know. So yeah, well done to Billy. I do think that they're looking forward to do like some kind of visual novel type aspect, you know, with their albums, you know, with given how the lyrics just kind of talk about their lore a lot more, you know, which is kind of like a visual novel similar to what DPR Live did with Is Anybody Out There album. It's like each song is like its own chapter or like a section of a story that needs to be like pieced together in order to get the full picture, you know. So I do think that if they continue to balance between sound and concept better, you know, I do think they're going to get a well-rounded discography in the near future. And I think I'm looking forward to just learning more about their lore and reading the lore as I go, you know, because I do like to see more audio novel type albums in the future, you know. I do like storytelling in albums a lot, you know. So this kind of storytelling, I hope that they balance it, you know, so that at least they can balance between like telling a good story and delivering a good song, you know. I hope they don't sacrifice one for the other, which is what I hope for Billy's discography in the future. Very nice. Also, I forgot to mention this before, but they included a whole ass OST album for their short film before they dropped the comeback, you know, and I do think that it's a very smart way to go about it, you know, because it really just seals their lore even further, you know, but also because of this like very it's a very unique rollout I haven't seen before in K-pop before. Releasing a whole ass OST album for your short films, that's just so unique. I haven't heard that before. I haven't listened to the OST album yet, you know. I might do so one day, you know, but like it's just so cool. I've seen anything like that before. Maybe this is a concept that Billy should consider. Nighttime carnival vibes, you know, something like Sunny Hills Midnight Circus kind of thing, you know. Yeah, it might fit with their current lore. Yeah, consider that, you guys.
이런 게
So next we have Horn by A-Pink. So A-Pink is back with a 4th studio album, which is Horn. Really like this album a lot. I do think that this album is probably the strongest in the discography. And I do really like the pop aspect of it, you know. The pop aspect is kind of refined really nicely in this comeback, you know, because in previous comebacks, they do kind of want to veer into a more mature concept, you know. It's just that they don't know how to go about doing it, you know, and as a result, their previous albums before this, I think since 1 and 6% and Look, you know, they don't really have like they seem pretty incomplete for me, you know, like there's something missing in those albums, you know, but this album really is a very complete album because I really like the choice of genres in this album, and I really like how strong all of these songs are. And of course, if you listen to it together, it's like one cohesive timeline throughout from start to finish, you know. You start off with your dark like pop bops, you know. We have Dilemma, which is a very dark and gloomy pop song, you know. I like how like in A-Pink's career, they debuted stuff. They talk about love in like a very innocent way, you know. And then as the career progresses into the more mature side, they also explore love in other aspects as well. Like there's many nuances in love that they wanted to explore as well, rather than just like a simple love with the prince and the princess fall in love. But in their later songs, especially in Dilemma, they explain that maybe love isn't as beautiful as they seem. So I really like that about them, you know. And I think Dilemma is pretty much one of the apexes of the exploration of love that they did throughout the discographies. I really like that a lot. And then also we have other really great pop songs in there, you know, as well as like Holy Moly, Single Rider, and Free Love, you know. They are very like jazzy R&B based pop songs, you know, which I really like, you know. It really adds a little bit of pizzazz into their pop music, you know. Then we have Red Carpet, very fancy schmancy, really like that a lot. Then Nothing is really good, you guys. It's very dynamic pop as well, you know. But throughout towards the end of the album, you get like really slow. It gets slower and more balladier towards the end, you know, or like at least like more sappier towards the end, because it ends with their fan song, 10th anniversary fan song from last year. Really nice. I like the flow of this album. It's a very nice flowing album where it starts off with like dynamic pop songs and then it progresses over to more slower songs. I do like that a lot, and I do think that this is probably one of A-Pink's strongest albums to date. Very good job. I really like that a lot. And finally, we have invu by Taeyeon. Recording this part again because the first time that I did record this, something happened. My family was going downstairs and I had to stop recording. So hopefully I can get through this recording session. Goodness, this video took me like 3 different attempts of recording it. It's a lot. It's a lot to say the least. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I also have to turn off the fan next to me so that I don't get the annoying blowing sound behind my voice. But yeah, whatever. So invu take 4. So this is my number 1 favorite album of the month. Initially I was debating, like when I recorded this a week ago, I did say that I debated between A-Pink and Taeyeon for album of the month. But as of now, like a week after my voiceover, I had like changed opinions, and now this album is my favorite of the month for various reasons. But we'll go into musical reasons first, and then personal reasons afterwards. So musical reasons why? Because this album, it really tells a good story of like a very, I guess you can say, a very nuanced take on a different sides of a relationship that, similar to A-Pink's Dilemma, she talks about relationship that is not as beautiful as it seems, or at least like relationships that are talking about really like bad relationships gone wrong, etc., etc. And she lays them out in such a way that this entire album tells a story of sorts, you know, but not in the way that Billy's album did with the whole like one-eyed rabbit shit earlier, you know. Her storytelling is in a way that it tells a story musically, and then in the lyrics it does also reflect that in the lyrics as well, and they sound cohesive from start to finish, you know. So I do think that this album probably is the most cohesive album I've heard from the entire month of February, which is why it's my number 1 album of the month, you know. The tracks on the album are really good. Good if not solid growers over time. invu is one of those growers. I was meh about the song at first. I wasn't huge on it. I thought it was just fine at first, but upon further listens, I really do think that it grew on me big time. It really just grew on me over time, and I do think that it's very vibey and really really nice. I do also like how chill it is, you know, and I like Taeyeon's angelic voice. She just sells the song really nicely. I really like the deep house influences in the chorus. I do think that's also a nice touch, like a little cherry on top of it, you know. Very nice. The entire music video is just well shot as well. I love the sparkly aesthetics of this music video. She just looks like a Greek goddess, and I'm here for it. What else do I have to talk about the song? Oh yeah, I do think that it's a very fine song. But the song grew on me. But like, here are the songs that really just instantly stuck with me the first time I heard it. Can't Control Myself was a song that came out I think a month ago in January as a pre-release, and I do really like that pre-release a lot more than invu, to be honest, because it's rock ballad. Like sad rock ballads. Give me sad rock ballad Taeyeon. Give me more sad rock Taeyeon. Oh my god. This is so nice. I like the music video for it. I like the song for it. It just like cry your eyes out anthem. It's just so chef's kiss. I also like the storyline of the music video. That was really nice as well. Set Myself on Fire. Set Me on Fire. This is good. Because this is magnificent. I like her angelic voice when she's talking something morbidly scary as setting yourself on fire, but then Taeyeon's angelic voice is just like, I'm setting myself on fire. I'm just like, oh okay, you're setting yourself on fire. And oh my goodness, the song is just so beautiful and angelic, but then she's singing about setting yourself on fire, man. But the song is beautiful though. I give her that. Very romantic. Toddler, also romantic, but also like something that is like very, I guess you could say like it has really deep lyrics as well. Something pertaining to never wanting to grow up in like a Peter Pan kind of situation. Correct me if I'm wrong about the lyrics, but I also do think that's a very nice song. Very cute, very romantic, I guess. Siren is so good though. Siren is fantastic. Siren is my favorite song on the album. This is so good. I like the musical aspect of this, you know. One of the production things that I like about Siren is the fact that during the chorus you can hear like a faint siren just going back and forth in the background, you know. I heard that the first time round and it blew my mind. I just like that little touch, you know. It's very subtle. Not many people hear it unless they focus on the background music, you know, but when you hear it, it really adds so much to the whole song, especially when Taeyeon sings I can hear the siren and then the siren just goes off in the background. Text painting. I love text painting. Text painting is wonderful. Yay! And then Cold as Hell. Cold as Hell is something different in her discography, in her repertoire of music. Usually you hear her doing like something very like easy listening, like ballads or R&B or chill hop or whatever. But like this is very new for her in the sense that it's very glitch poppy in a way, or hyper pop in a way. And when her voice distorts when she said Cold as Hell and then the chorus just drops like a sledgehammer. Very nice. I was like, that is something different from Taeyeon, but I really like that a lot. It really is a highlight standout in this album, and I keep going back to it often. Cold as Hell is my second favorite song on the album. What else? We have No Love Again. No Love Again is very progressive housey, something resembling of a Swedish House Mafia song or like an Avicii song, kind of, you know. Very nice. I like a good progressive house moment in this album, I guess. And then ending credits. Chef's Kiss. I wish I could include it in my monthly favorites video, but like I need to stop somewhere with the Taeyeon song, so I didn't include ending credits. But ending credit is just so good. It's just the best ending song ever. My goodness. In the pantheon of ending songs in K-pop albums, you know, this ending credits goes right up there along with AB6IX's A Long Winter from A Mo Complete Have a Dream in terms of just Chef's Kiss ending songs. Very nice. Weekend is a nice song, you know. I'm not so sure why she included it in this album, you know. Like you're just like being emotional and sad, and suddenly when the weekend comes I can do whatever I want. Like, it's just so light and wispy and fun. But I'm crying in the club over here. But whatever, Weekend is a bop. It's a whole ass bop. Bop, bop, bop. I love it. Yeah, I think that a lot of the songs on the album are just really A+ quality. I do really like this album quite a lot. It's very cohesive. It's very cohesive in the sense that it's also a very dark album and it's something very new in her discography, you know. It's much darker than, say, some of her other dark counterparts like, you know, Purpose or My Voice or something like that, you know, in the sense that it's very much more matured and much more real, fully realized than most of her other albums. And this makes this album such a standout in her discography, and I would put this right up there in some of her best to date. Really nice album though. I really do like the musicality of this album, and it really just entices me to go back listening to it for more, honestly though. And I mean, of course, if it wasn't for the personal aspect of this album, I wouldn't have gone back to it even more, because yeah, the musicality of it is good and all, but like, this album is my number one of the month simply because of how much it means to me personally recently and how much it really just helped me a lot recently. I'm not so sure if I should say this on my channel or not, but let's just say that this album is linked to a specific individual that I met at work, and this album kind of means to me when I'm doing my work, and this is the album that I put on just to get by work and just to get shit done. I'm not so sure if I'm ever going to go into the specifics soon, because the specifics is stories quite long and rambly and even more personal. But yeah, just so you know that this album just means a lot to me personally. That's all I have to say. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for this album. Go give this album a listen. Stan Taeyeon, stan the talent, stan the queen, stan the legend. Everything in between. She's amazing. I love her so much. And I love her music so much as well. She's such an amazing, wonderful woman. And honestly though, can't wait to hear more music from her in the future. Chef's kiss. Such an A+ woman, why I tell you that. Also, this A+ woman is gonna host Queendom 2, by the way. So looking forward to see her on Queendom 2, but really nervous for Queendom 2 overall. I'm not so sure what's gonna happen there, but you know, I'm nervous for it, you know. Alright, so that's it for this album review. Yay! I hope you guys enjoyed this album review, and yeah, I just want to let you know that in a month where everything seems dry and you know just nothing much happened in February, you know, I hope this monthly album phase has kind of opened your eyes to you for some of the more quality albums that I personally enjoyed this month, some of the grower albums that grew on me during the course of the month, and some of the music that just made me happy, you know, just put a smile on my face. So I hope to see you all in the next video, whatever it is, and until then, stay safe, take care, and as always, be excellent to each other. Bye loves!